God is silent, this is what he's really doing. The confusion of silence. There's a kind of silence that's louder than noise. You've prayed, but no answer. You've cried, but no comfort. You've sought God, but felt nothing. And in that silence, the enemy whispers, God's not listening. But I'm here to tell you, silence is not absence. Silence is strategy. God speaks through fire, but he also speaks through stillness. When heaven goes quiet. Some of the deepest moves of God begin in silence. When Jesus was on trial, he said nothing. When Job cried out, the heavens were still. Between the Old Testament and the New, God was silent for 400 years. But silence is not abandonment. It's incubation. God goes quiet when he's working behind the curtain. When he's shifting things. When he's writing chapters you can't see yet. Silence is the space where your spirit grows stronger than your sight. A test of trust. God's silence tests your trust. Can you still believe when you don't hear? Can you still obey without confirmation? Can you still worship when the heavens are closed? Faith isn't proven by answers. It's proven by endurance. Abraham waited. Joseph waited. Mary waited. God didn't forget them. He was forming them. The longer the silence, the deeper the root. What silence builds in you. Silence teaches you to listen differently, to lean in, to discern his presence even when his voice isn't loud. You start to feel him in the stillness. See him in the details. Know him in the waiting. Silence develops spiritual depth. It breaks addiction to emotional validation. It kills the need for constant noise. In the quiet, God isn't far. He's close enough to whisper. Biblical examples of divine silence. Moses heard nothing for 40 years. Then God spoke from a burning bush. David cried out, "Why have you forsaken me?" And yet God called him a man after my heart. Jesus was silent on the cross. And then salvation was birthed. Silence doesn't mean forgotten. It means something holy is unfolding. What God is doing in the silence. He's shifting people out of your life who couldn't carry the next season. He's healing wounds you don't even know are bleeding. He's closing doors that would have derailed your destiny. He's preparing the place before he places you in it. He's not ignoring you. He's insulating you. Sometimes the silence isn't God being distant. It's him being protective. The silent stretch. What if the silence is where your oil is pressed? You've been asking for clarity, and heaven seems quiet. But in the silence, God is stretching you for more than clarity. He's stretching you for capacity. You're not just waiting for a word. You're being prepared to carry one. You're not just holding on for comfort. You're being made into someone who is comfort to others. There are things God can only form in silence, like trust that doesn't depend on noise, peace that doesn't need signs, and vision that doesn't need visibility. You're not wasting time. You're being woven. Noah didn't hear much, but he kept building. Hannah wept in silence, and God heard every word of her heart. Daniel kept praying, even when the lions were louder than heaven. John the Baptist lived in the wilderness until the appointed time. God is not a performer. He's a potter, and potters don't speak while the clay is spinning. But just because he's quiet doesn't mean he's gone. The silent years are still sacred years. Is when you feel forgotten. Maybe you've asked, God, did I miss it? Why is everyone else moving, but I'm stuck? Let me tell you this. Delay is not denial. Stillness is not stagnation. Your path isn't broken. It's being rerouted by design. God knows what you don't. He's seen what you can't. And what feels like silence is actually mercy. He didn't speak yet, because he's protecting you from hearing the wrong thing too early. A word in the wilderness. I speak this now to the quiet-hearted, the weary intercessor, the hidden one. God is closer in the silence than in the shout. He's watching how you trust him when it doesn't feel good. And heaven is honoring the way you haven't walked away. You could have quit, but you stayed. You could have compromised, but you worshipped instead. You could have drowned in doubt, but you kept praying. Your silence has been your offering. Your stillness has been your strength. And your obedience in the dark is unlocking doors in the light. So don't stop. Don't rush the silence. Don't curse the quiet. Don't give up in the stillness. Because when God breaks the silence, he's not just going to whisper, he's going to thunder. And when he does, you'll say, the silence wasn't punishment, it was preparation. Amen. Heaven is still writing. While you're waiting in silence, heaven is still writing your story. There are breakthroughs being scheduled. There are connections being aligned. There are doors being built with your name on them. God's silence is not passive. It's productive. Like an author who pauses before writing the next chapter, God is making sure the plot twist makes sense. He's not just working on what's next. He's working on who you're becoming before it arrives. Because the promise you're holding out for requires a version of you that silence is helping shape. Embracing the silence. Stop fighting the silence. Start listening in it. Let it be a classroom. Let it be a sanctuary. Let it be the place where your roots go deep and your discernment sharpens. God is teaching you to walk by faith, not feedback. To follow peace, not noise. To stand still and know, not move fast and guess. You don't need 1,000 confirmations. You just need to trust the one who called you in the first place. He hasn't changed his mind. The silence is not a rejection. It's a reaffirmation that you're still in his hands. God is not done. Let me speak this one final time to your soul. God is not done. The silence is not final. And you are not forgotten. There's a move of God on the other side of this stillness. There's a shaking coming after this quiet. There's a glory that only silence can prepare you to carry. When the silence ends, it will end with the sound of fulfillment. So don't rush it. Don't resent it. Rest in it. Because what God births in silence will shake nations. Amen.